Our brains have evolved over millions of years to handle an extraordinary amount of information, storing trillions of bits of data that can be recalled almost instantaneously. But for all our advanced capabilities, memory isn't perfect. We regularly forget things, misplace items, and experience moments where we simply can't remember someone's name or where we left our keys. These seemingly minor lapses can be frustrating and make us feel mentally off our game. But they also highlight the fragility of our remarkable minds and raise a crucial question: why do we forget? In today's fast-paced digital world, many experts argue that our forgetfulness has reached epidemic proportions. In the age of Google and social media, our brains are bombarded with an overwhelming amount of new information daily, and we often find ourselves relying on external aids like smartphones and notes to remember even basic tasks or facts. The question then becomes, are we simply too reliant on technology, or are memories actually deteriorating? The answer, surprisingly, lies in the intricate mechanisms of our brain itself. To understand why we forget, we must first delve into the inner workings of our memory system. The process begins with encoding, where our sensory experiences, thoughts, and actions are converted into a form that can be stored in the brain. This primarily occurs in the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure deep within the temporal lobe of the brain. As we engage with the world, sensory inputs like sights, sounds, and textures are processed and then sent to the hippocampus for storage. The hippocampus acts like a mental librarian, organizing and categorizing our experiences based on their meaning and context. However, the hippocampus doesn't work in isolation. It interacts with other regions, particularly the prefrontal cortex, which plays a vital role in attention, decision-making, and social behavior. The prefrontal cortex helps the hippocampus by providing additional context and meaning, allowing for more robust memory formation. For instance, when you meet someone and learn their name, the prefrontal cortex might activate due to the social context of the interaction. This additional layer of contextual information can significantly enhance the strength and longevity of the memory. Once encoded, these memories are then consolidated and transferred to various parts of the cortex for long-term storage. The strength and detail of a memory depend on several factors, including the intensity, frequency, and emotional significance of the experience. Vivid, emotionally charged events tend to create stronger memories that are easier to recall later. On the other hand, mundane or neutral experiences require more effort to remember. So why do we forget despite all this complex processing? One reason is that our brains naturally prioritize and filter information based on its perceived importance. This means that while some memories are strengthened and retained, others are discarded as unnecessary or irrelevant. Forgetting in this sense acts as a protective mechanism, preventing us from being overwhelmed by the sheer volume of daily experiences. Another factor is the passage of time itself. Memories can fade over time if they aren't regularly accessed and reinforced. This process, known as memory decay, affects all types of memories, but can be slowed down through repetition and review. Additionally, the physical makeup of our brain plays a role in forgetting. Our neurons are constantly changing and adapting, a process known as neuroplasticity. When we form a new memory, the connections between neurons are modified. But as time goes on, these connections can weaken or even be pruned away entirely if the memory isn't used or updated. This natural forgetting is not necessarily a bad thing. It allows us to focus on new information and experiences without being burdened by outdated or irrelevant memories. Moreover, our emotions play a significant role in both encoding and retrieving memories. Positive emotions like joy and excitement can lead to the formation of stronger, more detailed memories. Conversely, negative emotions like stress and anxiety can impair memory function. During times of high stress, the amygdala, the brain region associated with processing emotions, can hijack our attention away from encoding contextual details. This can result in fragmented or incomplete memories of the stressful event. Sleep, too, has a profound impact on our memory. During sleep, our brains process and consolidate the day's experiences, transferring them from short-term to long-term memory. Adequate sleep is crucial for memory formation and recall. Conversely, sleep deprivation or poor sleep quality can impair both encoding and retrieval processes. Finally, our lifestyle choices and environment also play a role in our forgetfulness. A diet lacking in nutrients, irregular exercise habits, and exposure to toxins can all negatively impact brain function and memory. Similarly, a cluttered, chaotic environment can make it challenging to focus and pay attention, leading to incomplete or inaccurate memory formation. Now that we've explored the science behind forgetting, let's turn our attention to the critical question: how can we strengthen our memories? Before diving into specific techniques, it's essential to grasp a fundamental concept: repetition. Simply repeating information to yourself isn't enough to ensure it sticks in your long-term memory. Instead, you need to actively engage with the information. This involves asking yourself questions about the material, summarizing it in your own words, or using mnemonic devices. The key is to move beyond passive learning and incorporate active recall and deeper processing. Spaced repetition is another powerful tool for memory enhancement. This technique involves intentional spacing out of learning sessions to optimize the retention of information. Rather than cramming for an exam or trying to learn everything in one sitting, spaced repetition encourages breaking up learning into smaller chunks over extended periods. This approach capitalizes on the brain's natural forgetting curve, allowing you to focus on the information that's most crucial for your needs. Emotional tagging is also highly effective. By associating new information with a strong emotion or a memorable story, you can significantly enhance the strength and longevity of that memory. This approach activates the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, which in turn strengthens the memory trace and improves retrieval. Interleaving, another evidence-based strategy, involves mixing different topics or concepts during study sessions rather than just focusing on one subject at a time. For example, instead of spending hours studying math, switch to history and then back to math again after a break. This approach challenges your brain to actively retrieve information, leading to more robust memory formation. Finally, the power of deep focus cannot be overstated. In an era of constant distractions, setting aside dedicated time and space for focused learning is invaluable. Minimize interruptions, turn off your phone, and immerse yourself in the learning material. This focused attention enhances encoding and retrieval, ensuring that information is properly stored and accessible when needed. As we conclude, remember that while our memories may occasionally fail us, they are remarkably adaptable and resilient. By understanding the science of forgetting and applying evidence-based memory strengthening techniques, you can enhance your ability to learn, remember, and think deeply. These techniques not only help you retain information more effectively, but also cultivate a deeper understanding and appreciation of the world around you. So embrace the journey of learning, cherish your memories, and never stop exploring the boundless potential of your mind. If you found this video informative, please consider supporting us through donations. Your generosity helps us continue producing quality content. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you for watching.